All right, this question says, what is the equation of the line parallel to the y-axis that goes through 5, -1? Well, first off, if we have a coordinate plane, right? And then we have a line that goes through the y-axis, right? This is the y-axis. Then the equation of that line is going to be y equals whatever that number is, right? So in this situation, our y is equal to -1. So this equation is going to be y equals -1. C. All right. It says, what is the equation in slope-intercept form of the line that passes through the point 2, -2 and is perpendicular to the line represented by y equals 2/5 x plus 2? Keyword, perpendicular. Remember, when we're talking about perpendicular lines, the slopes are opposite reciprocals. That means opposite sign and reciprocal slope. So that means you flip the fraction. So instead of 2/5, we got to change this to -5/2. So the slope is -5/2. Well, with just that information, let's observe our answers. D is -5/2 as a slope, so is C, but B and D have slopes of 5/2. So let's eliminate what we know is not the answer. A, B. Now we need to take this point and plug it into our point slope, right? Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Notice how these equations are in slope-intercept form, so that's what we're going to do with this. We're going to turn this into slope-intercept form. We have x1, y1 here, so we're going to plug those into the formula. So it's y minus our -2 for y1 equals our slope, which we said was -5/2, times x minus our x1, which is just 2. Notice how we have double negative, so that's plus positive. And we're going to distribute the -5/2 inside. So this is y plus 2 equals -5/2x plus 5. Subtract 2 from each side equals -5/2x plus 3. Our answer is D. Another thing we could do, because I know you guys don't like to necessarily do all this legwork, we could take each of these 2 remaining equations, plug them into y1, and see which one has the point 2, -2. That's another way. Let me show you how to do that real quick. Okay. So to show you how to do that, we go into y equals. We're going to clear what's there. And we're going to plug in -5/2x. May want to put that in parentheses, so let's do that. And the x should go on the outside of our parentheses here. All right, and then minus 3. If we go here to graph, or even to table, table may be best. So second table. All right, and we're going to look where x is 2, which is right here. And notice that y is not negative 2, it's negative 8. So we know this can't be the answer, right? But what we can do is go into y equals, parentheses, negative 5 over 2, close that parentheses, x, and then plus 3. And when we go here to second graph, what do we notice? Well, when we get to 2, our y is negative 2. So that's how we know this is the answer. All right, now for the next one. It says, plans for a bridge are drawn on a coordinate grid. One girder of the bridge lies on the line y equals 3x minus 5. A parallel brace passes through the point 5, negative 7. Write an equation of the line that contains the brace. Remember, the parallel brace contains the point 5, negative 7. So what we can do here, on the same vein of using the calculator, which we love to do, we can just add, like for this answer, add 5 over here. That's pretty much what we need to do. Here, we need to subtract 7 from over here, add 5, subtract 7. When we do that, we're just solving for y. So now we're going to go into the calculator, and we're going to plug in each of these answers to see which one is going to contain the point 5, negative 7. Now, since it said parallel, that means same slope. We can go ahead and eliminate C and D. So we're really just plugging in A and B. All right, so that's 3 times x plus 7. Close parentheses, plus 5, right? And we're going to go to second table. Or even we can go ahead and plug in B as well, actually. So this will be 3, open parentheses, x minus 5, close the parentheses, minus 7. All right, second graph, that gives us our table. And we're looking at the point 5. Which one is going to give us 5, 7? All right, so now we're at x equals 5. And which one is negative 7? It appears to be it appears to be y2, which is B. Our answer is B. Our answer is B. Okay, that's our answer. All right. And the next problem says, what are the equation and slope of the line shown on the grid? All right, well, this is our line. It is a vertical line that passes through the x-axis. So our equation is going to be x equals, what's that number? 6. All right, so we got that part out of the way. So that means that y equals 6f and y equals 6h are out of the running. Okay, so what's the slope? Our slope is 0 on a flat line, on a, horizontal line. So it has to be undefined. Vertical lines are undefined, so our answer is J. All right, it says, which equation is parallel to the line 3x plus 7y equals 3 and goes through the point negative 6, 7? What we want to note here is that whenever we have, this is our standard form, right? And of course, I taught you that to find the slope, we can take our negative a and divide it by our b. So a is 3, b is 7. So our slope is negative 3 over 7. All right. Which answer choice can we eliminate? Well, F, G, J, left with H. That's it. So there's nothing else really to be said about that. We can, if we choose to, we could also turn this into slope-intercept form. All right, and in order to do that, we need to take our C, right? Subtract our AX and divide it by B. If you can remember that, then we can go into Y equals here. Let's clear out what's there and plug this in. C, which is 3, minus our AX, close parentheses, divided by our B, which is 7. And what do we get? All right. That's that. And now what we can do is plug in each of these answer choices to see which one is parallel and to see which point lies on, which of the equations does the point -6, 7 lie on that line. That's a lot of work. I think this is easier if you just remember that the slope is -a divided by b. All right, and then this next question says, what is the equation of the line parallel to the y-axis that goes through 5, -1? Whenever we talk about being parallel or perpendicular to a y-axis, I like to draw a picture. So let's say this is our coordinate plane, right? We have the y-axis right here. No, that's the x-axis. Here's the y-axis. If there's a line that's parallel, then it's going to be vertical, right? Vertical. Note that vertical lines go through the x-axis. So any line that's parallel to the y-axis goes through the x-axis, okay? So what's the x here? The x is 5. So x equals 5 has to be the equation because it's parallel to the y-axis. And whoop, there we go. Which graph best represents a line that is parallel to the graph of the equation y equals -4/5x minus 2? All right. Well, one thing's for sure. We can plug y equals negative. Let's put that in parentheses. Y equals -4/5, close parentheses, x minus 2. Graph. Notice how this graph is going down. And the y-intercept is below the x-axis. So, okay, cool. Know a little something about it. So we have to figure out which one is it, right? Well, we know anything that's going up isn't it? So we can eliminate A and D. Our slope is -4/5. Which one has a slope of -4/5? Is it B or is it D? I mean B or C. So if we go down 1, 2, 3, right 1, 2, 3, 4, down 3, right 4, that's that slope. Parallel slopes have the same, so are the same. So it's not B, has to be C. All right. Last one. A line that contains the point 6, -5 is perpendicular to the graph of the equation y equals 2/3 x minus 4. What is the equation of the line? Keyword here, perpendicular. So it has to be perpendicular to this. Perpendicular lines have opposite reciprocal slopes. Opposite, so opposite sign. Reciprocal, which means we flip the fraction. All right, let's do this. So instead of 2/3, it's going to be negative flipped 3/2. So which answer choices do we have? Not B, not D. All right, so plug this into y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Remember, when you have a slope and a point, use the point slope. So this will be our x1, y1, and this becomes y minus -5 equals -3/2 times x minus our x1, which is 6. So this becomes plus positive, right? Distribute inside here. And we're going this far because it says this, our answer choices are in slope-intercept form. So we're going to change this to slope-intercept form. So this becomes -3/2x. -3 times -6 is 18. So 18/2 is 9. This is y plus 5. Subtract 5 from each side. And we have y is equal to -3/2x plus 4. C.